Entry number 17. Dark, darker, yet darker. Photon readings negative. The shadows cutting deeper. This next experiment seems very, very interesting. What do you two think? Gaster, Wingdings Aster, the royal scientist, the mad scientist. His number is 6, the number of a man, the number of a beast. It is no secret that Gaster's character is chock full to the brim of devil imagery. His number is 666, and his domain is darkness. At first, I wrote off the devil imagery. I wrote it off as Toby trying to write a creepy character, with the most fitting number for creepy characters to hold. In Deltarune chapters 1 and 2, I thought nothing of it. Toby, not really being a religious man and not really holding hostility towards any religion, I always assumed every religious reference he made was just to make his story sound cool, as well as to tie in a meta-narrative. After all, some of it did seem inconsistent. But after Chapter 4, a lot started to make sense. In the normal route, you play a guiding light which resides in the human soul. You guide them through trials and tribulations, protecting them from attacks, bearing their pain, and healing them at the call of their prayers. You love thy neighbor, thy enemy as thyself. You banish the darkness, and you save the world. Sure, you are not an all-powerful deity, but you play the role of a guardian angel, the fourth person amidst the trio as they walk through the fiery furnace. However, in Snowgrave, even the devil disguises himself as an angel of light, and even the devil tries to defile the purest of lights. I want you to take a look at the design of the Titan, a coiled, twisted branch of darkness. Horns of a cow coil upon the top of his head, and a dark void is in the place of its face. But it hides its form. It hides behind the wings of an angel, and it hides behind a bright and shining star. Take a closer look at the Titan. Perhaps you see the white as his wings and the black as his face. Now look again. Pretend the white is his skull. Now pretend the blackness is his eyes, and the bottom is a wide smile. Does he look familiar? To me, this looks uncannily similar to the man who speaks in hands. And how do we save our progress in this game? We save using the light stars we find throughout the game. But who gave us these stars of light? Simple, the same one who connected us to this world. The devil that disguises itself as an angel of light. The man who speaks in hands. Let's consider Undertale and the rules of Undertale's universe. In Undertale, we meet Flowey, an undead creature without a soul, or rather, a dusty, malformed soul. Flowey's number was also 6. The 6 petals, the 6 souls he stole. Flowey was the mad creature that sought to make itself the very god of his world. He sought to claim 7 human souls to become a being of immense power, one who could write and overwrite save files, who could destroy and create timelines at will. Flowey claimed to be the god of his world, but he was more comparable to a devil. Still, Flowey had immense power, the power to return from the dead, the power to reset his very life, keeping his memories. He used his power to play God, to the fullest extent of his power. To Flowey, it was all a game. It was only when an angel appeared, a powerful being connected to a human soul. The nature of this angel? The nature of the player, whichever route they decided to take. When Frisk and the angel appeared, Flowey's power was all but erased. There was a higher power in this land now, and Flowey wanted to play with it. Sometimes Flowey would play a pacifist route. Other times he would play a genocide route. Other times he would make friends. Other times he would make enemies. But this was the rule. One human soul could save and reset timelines. and 7 human souls will bring unfathomable power. Perhaps Gaster got a hold of his timeline somehow. Perhaps by killing a human and taking their soul? If Gaster is truly the Flowey of this universe, perhaps he befriended everyone and killed everyone. Perhaps he won every game and lost every game. Perhaps he too was an angel. Oh, how have you fallen, O Lucifer, from heaven? How have you fallen, O Gaster, from the light world? If Gaster has played every route, he too has played Snowgrave, and he too has played the normal route. Whichever of these routes he liked more, I am uncertain. But the fact is, he was completely willing to play both. Somewhere, somehow, Gaster entered a deep, deep darkness. Dark, a dark room. Darker, the dark world. Yet darker, the neo-darkness, the place where the Titans reside. How did he end up here? Perhaps he was locked there by a being of similar power. Perhaps by an angel. Perhaps by a devil. Perhaps even by a little white dog. Or perhaps Gaster stepped to the deepest darkness himself. Eventually, whether it be to his limitations on the timeline due to being trapped in such a place, or whether it be a desire to play, he reached out to beings above the darkness, beings above the light world. Gaster reached out to the angels of heaven itself. He spoke to us on Twitter. He spoke to us in riddles. He was trying to grab our attention. Perhaps the very soul we inhabit is the one Gaster stole many years ago to gain this control from the first human. Of course, there are many differences in a world where Gaster is trapped in such a deep darkness. Differences that lead to a different world. If his power is limited, perhaps he reached us. If his power is limited, perhaps he reached us to live on his desire of meddling with timelines vicariously through us. Perhaps he reached us to bring a specific moment of the prophecy, the rising of the Roaring Titans. If the Roaring Delta are the pawns of the dark side of the chessboard, Gaster is the hand controlling every single piece. If the Delta Warriors, the heroes, and the recruits are our side of the chessboard, then we are the other hand. Hopefully, we love these pieces which Gaster would call pawns. Chris is our rook, Susie is our knight, Rousey is our bishop, Noelle is our queen. But who is the king? Perhaps it's the soul? Perhaps it's a character we haven't seen yet? I don't know. Either way, Gaster merely wants this, to play games with us. Games that will last for eternity. Games that will cure his boredom. And in this sense, I believe Gaster will be the final boss of one of our routes. Whether it be the Snowgrave route, the normal route, or whatever our true pacifist parallel will be, he will be the final boss of one of these routes. Perhaps he has become a Titan. Perhaps he has become their prince. The Prince of Titans. The Prince of Demons. He pulls the strings and makes them ring until our heart starts breaking up. If Noelle could be tempted into freezing her friends in ice, then we should not be prideful. Perhaps we too could be tempted into giving the devil the victory. But if even Flowey could be saved, could Gaster?